Welcome to this somatic tracking body scan. Now let's begin by allowing everything to slow down. There's nowhere you need to go and nothing you need to accomplish. Nothing that you need to fix. This is simply a space for noticing. You can be sitting or lying down, whatever allows your body to feel the most supported. And before we even begin scanning the body, I want to emphasize something really important. This practice is not about clearing the mind, and it's not about relaxing perfectly. It's not about having any particular experience. This practice is about noticing. It's about noticing your sensations, noticing your thoughts and your emotions, and even noticing when the mind wanders. And gently, without any judgment, you're going to be returning to noticing again. Now, non-judgment is the foundation of this entire process. It's what makes mindfulness work. Because the moment we judge a sensation, or the moment we label it as bad or wrong or dangerous, the nervous system interprets that judgment as a signal of threat. But when we simply notice with neutrality and curiosity, we send a different signal. We send the signal that this moment is safe enough to be witnessed. And the nervous system responds to that, not because we forced it, but because it no longer needs to protect against our resistance. So nothing needs to change here. You are simply becoming the observer, like sitting on the bank of a river, watching the water flow. You don't need to stop the river, and you don't need to redirect it. You simply watch. Now, as we begin, I want you to bring your attention gently into the body. You're not going to force it. Just have your awareness land at your feet. And I want you to just observe whatever is there. Now you may notice warmth, or you may notice coolness. Sometimes people feel pressure or even tingling. Maybe you're sensing heaviness, or perhaps very little at all. And even noticing very little is still noticing. There is no wrong experience. So let your attention rest here for just a moment. Not trying to change anything, just sensing. Now you may also notice the mind commenting. Maybe the mind is saying, "This is boring," or "This isn't working," or "I don't feel anything." And that's all okay. In fact, an active mind is not a problem. It's wonderful because every thought is simply another opportunity to notice. You might imagine thoughts as clouds passing through the sky. You don't need to stop the clouds. You don't need to argue with them. You don't even need to believe them. You just simply watch them appear and pass. Sometimes clouds will form into shapes and will identify a dog or a bear. And then just as quickly, they're gone. And it's just like a thought. Sometimes it feels so real, but then it dissipates. Now I want you to gently return to sensing the body again. And we're going to keep doing this over and over because this is the practice. It's that noticing and returning and noticing and returning again. Now see if you can allow your attention to slowly move up into the lower legs. Again, just sensing. No need to analyze or try to interpret. You're simply feeling whatever is present. Now you may notice areas of comfort. There could be areas of neutrality. Or you may sense into areas of tension or sensation, good or negative. And all of it is welcome. And if you encounter an area with more sensation that feels a little uncomfortable, see if you can meet it with curiosity. And remind yourself that you don't need to get rid of it, and we don't need to force it to relax. All we're doing is just observing it without judgment, with openness, with curiosity, like a scientist observing something that they've never seen before through a microscope. There's a wonder about that, a curiosity, a neutrality. What might this be? How interesting. And you may notice the shape of the sensation. Maybe it has edges or a texture. And sometimes we'll feel a sensation, we'll give it a label of pain or a diagnosis. See if you can soften the labels and the diagnosis that you have and just notice it as if it's the first time, because it's just the sensation we're paying attention to, not the meaning, just the sensation. So see if you can notice if it has a sharpness to it or a dullness. Maybe it's stable, maybe it's moving. Perhaps it feels concentrated in one area, or maybe it feels kind of scattered. Or maybe the sensation changes the moment you notice it, which, by the way, is completely normal. Sensations can often shift when they're witnessed. And again, it's not because you force them to shift. It's because attention itself brings safety, especially when we take away judgment and we meet it as if with new eyes. Now I'd like to invite you to expand your awareness to include the knees and the upper legs. And here you might practice something called pendulation. And pendulation means allowing your attention to move between areas of more sensation and then moving it to areas of less sensation. Now, for example, If you notice tension somewhere in the legs, you might also notice the parts of the legs that feel more neutral or more comfortable. So with pendulation, you can gently allow your attention to move back and forth. And this teaches the nervous system flexibility. It reminds the brain that sensations are not everything, that there are always other experiences present too, and that you're not trapped in any one sensation. You are the observer of all of it. It's like sitting in a theater watching scenes unfold on a screen. You're not inside the movie. You are the one watching it, safe in your seat. So just allow your system to pay attention here. Now see if you can move your awareness up into the pelvis and the hips. This area can often hold deep protective patterns, so move slowly and gently and respectfully. There's no need to force sensation. Just allow whatever is present. And you may notice pressure from where your body meets the surface beneath you. You may notice areas of holding or areas that feel quiet. And all of it belongs. And again, if thoughts arise, or if the mind wanders, simply notice that too. The moment you notice the mind wandering, you are already back. You have not failed. That moment of noticing is the meditation. And each return strengthens the brain's ability to witness without fear. Now slowly allow your awareness to move up into the abdomen. You don't need to try to breathe in a certain way. Just notice the natural rhythm of your breath, the rise and the fall. You might notice movement or stillness. Perhaps the warmth of your breath, or the coolness, or just neutrality. Some may feel sensation related to an emotion. If an emotion arises, you don't need to explain it, and you don't need to understand it. You simply allow it to exist, like weather passing through the sky. Remember that no weather is wrong. Storms can come, and then they go. And the sky remains unchanged. You are the sky, not the weather. Now allow your awareness to move up into the chest. Again, just sensing. Now this area often holds emotion, sometimes protection, and vulnerability. So again, we're going to bring curiosity. Release any urgency. Let go of any pressure to fix. It's okay, whatever you notice. Again, you may notice the breath or the heartbeat or other subtle sensations. Sometimes there's a swirling or a pressure, and all of that is safe, all of that is okay. And if nothing is noticeable, that's okay too. The absence of sensation is still an experience. It's still something to notice. Now, gently bring your awareness up into the shoulders. There are lots of protective patterns that can live here. So you may notice holding, or you may notice release. Nothing needs to change. Your body already knows what to do, and your role is simply to witness. Like holding a small child's hand. You're not forcing that child to walk faster. You are simply present and letting them know that they are safe, that you are steady and available. And your body responds to that same message, to that same presence. Now see if you can allow the awareness to move down into the arms. Into your upper arms, down into your elbows, scanning down to the forearms, and then the hands. And notice the sensations in the hands. Perhaps you feel tingling. Sense into the temperature, whether it's warm or cool or cold. And notice any subtle vibration. The hands often reveal how alive the nervous system is. So just notice, and again, release any judgment. No need to interpret or understand, we're just noticing. Now bring your awareness into the neck. Noticing any patterns of tightness, allowing that to be just as it is. And then moving into the jaw. Just noticing. Could be tightness here too, or neutrality, or even softness. Just pay attention and see what happens. Does it get tighter? Does it soften? Do you notice any saliva pooling in your mouth? You don't have to force a release, you're just observing. The body will often soften when it's feeling witnessed. Again, not because it's been commanded to do so, but because it feels safe enough by the witnessing. Now bring awareness into the face, feeling into your cheeks, and your eyes. Then your forehead. And now bringing your attention to your entire head, noticing whatever draws your attention. Sometimes there's pressure or sharpness, a dullness. Knowing that we don't have to fix any of that, just notice without judgments or stories. Just feeling into the sensory experience. And allow yourself to stay here for just a minute. Sometimes you can feel tingling or vibrations in the head. Just notice that. And now, I want you to try sensing into the whole body, from your head all the way back down to your feet, taking it all in at once, like zooming out and seeing the whole landscape. You are the observer of this entire field of sensation. Nothing here defines you. Nothing here controls you. Everything you've sensed into are simply sensations arising and passing like waves. And you are the one that's witnessing them. Steady, safe, and present. Now take a few moments to just simply rest here, reminding yourself there's nothing to do, there's nothing to change, nothing to interpret or judge. You're just noticing. Now, before we finish, I want you to remember this. The goal of this practice is not to eliminate sensation. It is to change your relationship to sensation and to teach the nervous system that sensation can exist without danger, and that your thoughts can exist without the need to act on them or to believe every thought you have. They are just there, and it's okay to notice them without attaching to them. You're teaching yourself that you can witness without needing to fix. And each time you practice noticing without judgment, you strengthen the safety in the brain. You strengthen trust in your body, and you strengthen the witness within you. Now, when you feel ready, gently begin to bring small movements back into the body. You can wiggle your fingers or your toes or your legs. Maybe turn your head from side to side. Slowly allowing your eyes to open. And as you come back into the wider world, I want you to carry this sense of gentle witnessing with you, allowing yourself to continue noticing and then noticing again.